Hello, good morning and welcome to the laboratory of SaferGrow. My name's Chris Wrigley, an independent senior agronomist, so I'm told, based in Yorkshire, and we're here today to just do a little bit of investigation regarding some of the claims that SaferGrow have made regarding their way forward and their product development. What they have said is that they're innovative. There's new products coming onto the market, and secondly that they are farmer friendly, a point which interests me. And what I'm going to do now is try and just dig a little bit deeper to see if these claims are reality or fiction. So here we are today with Martin Edwards. Martin is the chemist of SaferGrow, and we'll sort of do a little bit more digging, Martin, just to make sure that your claims regarding product development and how friendly you are to growers, just let's make sure that they all ring true. You've been a chemist for how long, Martin?
Formulation chemist now for 36 years.
You don't look old enough, Martin.
I feel old enough.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I was straight out of university, then I did a bit of an analytical, and then after 6 months I was in the formulation chemist, starting with phenoxys emulsifiable concentrates. And then
phenoxys meaning what? The CMPP type materials, MCPN, these sorts of things.
Esters of those, and we used to make them into emulsifiable concentrates.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to emulsifiable concentrates for organophosphoruses and for the new synthetic pyrethroids, which were coming out at the time, so in 1979. And then after that, I was sent to America for my sins. And there I learned about suspension concentrates.
Right, okay. Suspension concentrates meaning what? Just explain that terminology for me.
Suspension concentrate basically is you take a insoluble chemical and you grind it very small and suspend it in water, usually in water, to allow you to give a concentrated solution out to the grower rather than a wettable powder. And so you can look at it as a wettable powder in water.
All right, okay. And these are available to the plant quite quickly, or?
It's all dependent on the solubility of the product and how it's formulated, and getting the active to the point of where it does any good.
So what as a chemist then, normally I would expect you to be in a lab as we are today, but consistently in a lab rather than get out there and even consider the grower. So why this focus on growers?
When I started my career, a formulation chemist's job was you had a new molecule which was patented. Okay, so the guys were out in the field and my bosses wanted me to make a formulation very quickly that would spray. So the process usually is formulation chemist makes a formulation, be it soluble liquid, emulsifiable concentrate, SC, and then the agronomist himself takes it and goes out in the field and makes it work by timings and rate of application. Then that's it, and then they market it. That's in pesticides. So it never actually comes back to the laboratory to be changed or maybe honed, made a bit better. So my philosophy round about the late 80s was that I was working for a company that had a generic fungicide, and so I started getting interested in making it better, putting some differential advantage to it against the opposition. So going out talking to the farmer, what he finds problems with, whether it comes out of the can, whether it sprays well, whether it stays suspended enough, all the deposits, that sort of thing, and getting some information back so that I could make the formulation.
So you've actually spoken to growers?
Oh, I believe that's where you should do it. Yes, I mean I believe that, and the company I work for, ISK, were happy to facilitate that. We used to go out into vines in France and things like that because we had problems with the. So yes, they were happy for me to go out and see what could be improved.
Now that's in the past, Martin. Are you still doing that today? Are you still getting out there and meeting growers?
Well, to a certain extent, yes. I'm getting to get out there again, yes. But at the moment, I've been concentrating on making the new formulations that we're developing here, based on the knowledge I've had in the past and the theories that I've had through working with adjuvants and surfactants and things like that, and enhancing the products. And then it's now a question of testing them out in the field to see if the theories hold true.
Okay, and really, in terms of pesticides or products, today we're talking about nutritional products as opposed to pesticides,
Yes.
and applying that chemistry knowledge, that formulations knowledge, applying that to nutritional products,
Sure.
rather than the
Principles are the same.
Okay.
In fact,
Okay.
it's harder with the nutritional products because they're a lot heavier. So you have to defy gravity more if you're making an SC. But the principles are still the same. You've got to put the product where it's most effective.
Right.
On the leaves or in the roots or wherever, you've got to make it so that the farmer has an ease of putting it where it's needed.
Okay, so we've covered the points. You've got experience in I'm going to say in the field, but you've got important knowledge of what the grower requires to put these products together. More importantly, what the plant requires to put these products together so that they are available.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I think I'm unique in that because most formulation chemists do just stay indoors and they don't let you out. The big companies don't let them out.
Yeah.
And I've got that experience.
I mean, for me to be involved, and very lucky to come round the establishment today here at Safer Grow, for me to be able to make sure that my growers are comfortable with the products we intend to use, will use, in the future use, it's important that they understand the rigorous work that goes on behind the scenes so that what they actually use, what they pay for, has an impact on the plant that I am prescribing. So I'm heartened to know that you do have that regard for growers, so that's good. So experience, you do speak to growers, so that's great. Have we got any plans in place, Martin, to actually take that one step further? When I asked the question about do you still meet growers, how do we interact with growers? Is your intention to get out there a little bit more and just find out a bit more detail from growers?
Well, I think so. I mean, there's plenty of places you can go. You can go and talk to growers. You get feedback, obviously, if you make a product and it goes out into the market, you get complaints.
Yeah.
They're not shy in coming forward if something's wrong.
Yeah.
So you see complaints and then you can act on those complaints.
Yeah, okay.
But there's also things you can do that they say, oh, well, this is inconvenient, or I prefer this to that. You know, they see other competitors' products and say that for them works better.
Yeah,
so you
okay.
take all that knowledge on board.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ease of use for the farmer, because the overriding principle that I have is that he needs to get out there and spray. He's got a couple of spray windows a year, that's all he's got, and he needs to get out there and spray it.
Okay.
And the last thing he wants is to spend time getting out of the can or into the hopper and looking in the can and finding the stuff left behind, and he's got to dig it out and mess around, and he's paying good money for this now, so he deserves a better product.
That's good. That's good from my perspective. Now, let's say the product is put together. In terms of efficacy, it looks good. Where are these tried? So where does all your knowledge get put into the hands of people like me, or do we do trials elsewhere with people that look at safety and efficacy?
I would make the formulation. I'd have my theories or whatever. Make the formulation so it's better to perform to these parameters, like getting it out of the can and suspending in the water for a long time possible, and being compatible with other products, obviously. Then we put it on a 2-week storage test at 54 degrees, which is a standard, industry standard, to simulate 2 years shelf life.
And what's the normal shelf life of these sort of materials?
It's sort of about 18 months at the moment.
Can we gain on that?
We have already improved on that.
Oh, right, good.
And we've got stuff that's in storage that's 2.5 years that we've already tested, and that goes in fine, and we will keep that for another year and keep testing it until it stops working.
Okay. What about safety to the plant? Because my concern is that we're occasionally doing multiple recommendations. In other words, more than one product going in the tank, so we need to look at compatibilities, but we also need to look at safety, not only to the operator, but to the plant, the growing plant as well.
So the next step, after having it made stable and what have you, we then send it out to an independent research establishment like STC, and they will assess it for phytotoxicity on a susceptible plant like radishes or tomatoes, say, or something like that, and then to find out if it causes any sort of chlorosis or scorch on the plant.
Right, yeah.
And that'll be the safety test.
Okay, and where's this done? Because
STC,
which is Stockbridge Technology Centre in Selby,
Sorry, I'm not allowed.
In my part of the world, God's own country. So you're close at hands, Lancashire. Thanks. So that's good. So this testing goes on with every product.
Oh, every product, yes. Yeah. And some are hot. but there are also ways and means of coming back and making them safe again.
Right.
Typically magnesium and copper are usually can be quite of a problem, but we have techniques to improve them.
All right, Martin, for now, thanks very much. So now we've got the 3 basic points covered. We've got an experienced chemist who is farmer friendly and at the same time producing a product which goes through a fairly rigorous testing programme at STC, Stockbridge Technology Centre in Selby. So from my point of view, that's great. If I give a recommendation on farm, I need to know that all that that's prescribed as being done by Safer Grow is being done, and I'll keep asking the questions.